Hello and welcome to video 2 of 4. This video will focus on the learning objectives that I set myself before development, activities in game/quiz theory, and the design and planning process. Upon planning this educational media artifact, a clear decision was made that the artifact should be educational and fit for a specific purpose. That purpose was to closely follow the National Curriculum for Science. As stated in video 1, the area selected from the National Curriculum was National Curriculum 3.4b, Astronomy and Space Science, providing insight into the nature and observed motions of the Sun, Moon, stars, planets and other celestial bodies. Taking this into account, clear learning objectives were identified to enable the successful completion of the educational media artifact. These objectives were to provide informative information about specific planets, allow students to engage with planets, enable students to interact with celestial bodies, and create an interactive artifact. Setting learning objectives in this way is beneficial as it helps the learner to commit to the learning process and therefore increase the likelihood of success. Malone 2003. As stated by the House of Commons 2009, it is important, however, that the content within the media is sufficient in terms of successfully meeting the needs of the national curriculum, therefore meaning that the information that I put into the artifact must be relevant and allow students to learn. This area of the national curriculum is aimed at Key Stage 2-3 students and is therefore the age range that this artifact focuses on. In this section, I'm just going to discuss a little bit about the activities that were highlighted for incorporation within this Flash educational artifact, and these include quizzes and games, and then I'm going to expand in a bit more detail about quiz and game theory. Investigating the Teaching Games for Understanding (TGFU) model, it became evident that the addition of a game to the artifact could in fact have its benefits. The TGFU model concentrates on a problem-based style of learning, whereby the user interacts with a game, which is then thought to situate skill development. Butler 2002. As suggested by Davids et al. 2008, TGFU has a student-centered emphasis, whereby the learning contexts are adapted to extract the most from students, therefore increasing knowledge and skill. Learning from this then, this is a model that will be adapted within the artifact and could have a positive impact on the learning of students. It is important to understand, however, that games that are not appropriately formulated can act as a distraction for students. Ritterfield et al. 2009. This must be taken into account when developing the game for the artifact. Now looking more at quizzes, as suggested by Davids et al. 2009, quizzes can also have a huge benefit on the way in which students learn, with students that show previous practice using quizzes attaining higher scores when completing exams, this compared to other students doing the same exam. Another benefit of giving quizzes is its ability to offer immediate feedback for its users. Thompson 2012. This became even more beneficial when implemented onto an online e-learning platform, as the ability to offer immediate feedback is increased. Taking the above into account, the benefits of implementing a quiz onto the artifact are great and could offer dramatic rewards for the students. So looking over the two there, games and quizzes, I think there are both positives and negatives to adding one or both onto the Flash artifact, so these are something that I'll seriously consider. I'm just going to talk a little bit more now about the design and planning process. The layout of a website is paramount. When a user first visits a website, they rarely move past the home page before they scan the page and quickly decide if they wish to investigate the website further. This was suggested by Rocketface 2012. This emphasizes the importance of planning a website before it is created, and is subsequently why designs were created before the Flash artifact was designed. So now I'm just going to look at the designs that I have made myself. If you just bear with me a second. Okay, so here are the designs I have. I've design 1, design 2, I created 3 designs, then a final design, and I looked at making mock-ups, and then my prototype. So here on the left is my design 1, and you can see it's got the twinkling stars in the background with planets acting as though they were in space. You have the Earth, Mars and the Saturn planet, which are the 3 pages that I'm going to focus on in this Flash artifact, with a platform here acting as though the user of the website is stood on the platform looking out into space. The planets would be the hyperlinks to the various different pages, and the stars would twinkle using the motion tween effect. Design 2, here on the right we have again a similar black background with twinkling stars, however this time we would have mist moving across from left to right and giving another effect using a motion tween and an alpha tool, as though you were out there in space. Then there's kind of a control panel box here which would contain the links to the various different pages. So there'll be games and quizzes, for example, and then the planets here, Earth, Mars, Venus and Mercury, containing the hyperlinks off to the different pages, and with some fake buttons set up underneath just to add to the effect of it being a control unit. Design 3 here. So design 3 is the first element really where I look to talk about anthropomorphism. So we have an alien here that would talk or interact with the user on the web page, just helping it to bring it to life, and like I said in video 1, to help the students engage within the website and possibly get more from it. Again, it would have a black background, this time with mist and twinkling stars, and the planets acting as links off to the different pages. In the middle here, on the alien's body, we have a game and quiz button, a bit like a Teletubby, linking off to different pages. So I've combined the 3 designs, made a final design, and here on the right you can see my final design. So I have taken the alien here from design 3, anthropomorphism, taken from design 3, and it talks here saying welcome frame by frame. WELCOME would come in to act as though the alien would be speaking, and the mouth would move also. The control unit from design 2 was changed, and the platform from design 1 were changed and incorporated here to look like a flight deck or a flight spaceship, with a window here looking out into space with the different planets within. The planets have come from all 3 designs because I quite like that idea. With the game and quiz button coming from design 3 down here on the bottom, and these here taken from design 2, just fake buttons just to add to the effect of the actual design and the actual home page. And that is everything from my design. You can see how I've linked all designs together to come up with a final design that I was happy with, and then I could go out and implement this onto my Flash artifact. Just leading on from the design process, you can see after I've created my final design, I've made 2 mock-ups from the final design. So the mock-ups talk about colours, fonts, types of font, size of fonts, and different things like that. And you can see how these are being made here, incorporating those different elements. And if I scroll down, prototypes were then made from each mock-up, so you can really get a vision to see what the website will look like before you start to actually create it. I found this very helpful, and in the end I decided to go with prototype 1. I thought those colours went better with each other. The design process really is vital, as it helps you to understand and build a picture of what it is that you want to create before you actually go on and creating it, therefore saving you a lot of time in development. Okay, so now I've looked at the designs, I'm going to now move on to storyboards. So I created 4 storyboards in total. The way storyboards differ from designs is because they look at the Flash elements, so the movements in between. For example, I have a cup falling off on my stage and spilling something, so the storyboards need to reflect that. So looking at my storyboard 1 here, you can see this was done for the input text page, where the user is prompted to enter in their own name, and when they click submit, their own name is then displayed on the screen and it says welcome with their name there. So you can see here broken down in the storyboard on number 1, I have broken these down into 1, 2 and 3 just so you can see the different movements that are on this page. So number 1 there is the play button for a green screen video that plays in the background. Number 2 is explaining that the text that says I welcome you comes on frame by frame, so you can see the progression there. And number 3 is explaining that the alien's mouth is moving, making him appear to talk. Number 4 is the input text box that then appears, so you can see the progression between the two, from numbers 1 to 4, and then again on the last bit 5 and 6. So it really is breaking down each scene there, what is happening in every scene from frame to frame. Storyboard 2, this is my main menu. So you can see again I've broken it down using numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So you can see the progression from scene 1 to scene 4 of the storyboard. Number 1 explaining that text is coming on frame by frame and that the alien's mouth is not moving this time. Then the cup spills over here, so you can see the arrows indicating that the cup is spilling. The planets, and this bit number 4, the planets move around in circles and act as hyperlinks. So all these coming in bit by bit. Moving on to storyboard number 3. This is for each page, so I have Mars, Earth and Saturn. So the storyboard here explaining what is happening on each page. So the globe there is spinning round in circles, and the storyboard explains that using the arrows. The thumbnails, so you click on the images on the left and the text is displayed in the box on the right, and you can see the progression here. Numbers 4 and 5 are explaining that that is what is happening. And then here we have a storyboard for the rocket game, storyboard number 4, explaining the aims. Number 1 is a button taking you to frame 2, and then the storyboard here explaining exactly what happens. So when you click and release, and that blocks coming from right to left, explaining the movement on those frames. And that is basically my storyboards.